2 minutes till broadcast. One minute till broadcast.
What's happening, guys? Welcome into it. Hey, it is a pre-Friday celebration, and we have a fun one lined up today. Going to be a bigly one as usual. Drew Allen, host of the Drew Allen Show podcast, he'll be joining us at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about all the big happenings of the world and get the latest on his book. Also, we have the riots happening in Minneapolis, of course. Would you expect anything different? We'll get to some of that and more. Plus, we have the food pyramid I really want to get to today, so we will try our darndest to make it happen. Make sure to like it out, share it out, leave that comment, break the algorithm. Let's do this thing for a pre-Friday celebration. Hang tight.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin transmission.
Broadcasting from the heart of the nation, the next generation in conservative talk radio. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Yes, it is. What is up, my friends? Welcome into it. It is your pre-Friday celebration, the greatest day of the entire week. I know you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's been a hard one, the first full work week of the year after all the holidays, so I know that you're probably burnt out by now. Don't worry, though. We'll try and keep you entertained and keep you moving through the day the best that we can. Hey, programming note for you. We are excited. We have our video back on the program for the weekday show. I know, pretty awesome. We've been working behind the scenes, getting some graphics up and going. Hat tip to our friends down in San Antonio, Texas, KLUP, 930 AM The Answer. They've been helping us out with a new camera that just looks freaking awesome, and we are set up in studio here, which means we now have video for the weekday program. We have some awesome video for the weekend program, and we're just all over the place. We are broadcasting down in San Antonio, Texas with the weekday show as well now, broadcasting in the evenings and overnight, so we are excited about that. And, of course, we're there on the weekends, too. Also, we have a new affiliate for the weekday show that I'm not going to announce today because I want to make sure everything's running smoothly, but we have the announcement either tomorrow or Monday that I cannot wait to announce. And if you guys are already listening, then you know where you're at, so welcome aboard. And I cannot wait for that one. So, that being said, as usual, welcome into the program. It is the Voice of Reason. I'm Andy Hooser, broadcasting out of the heart of the nation. I'm in Wichita, Kansas, with our flagship radio station, KQAM. But we are all over the country and growing like a Kansas weed, doing our thing.
Do it live!
Like we do every single day here on the program. With our video feed, we are on the Facebook Live feed. We are on our YouTube channel feed. And we are working on some other feeds as well, but I'm not going to, again, announce those until we are double sure that everything is working A-OK. Big things happening today. Bottom of the hour, Drew Allen, host of the Drew Allen Show podcast and author of a couple books. He'll be joining us at the bottom of the hour to chat about all the happenings. But apparently we have now, what do we have on our hands? We have ourselves a George Floyd protest 2.0 in Minneapolis. And that's where we go to with our What's Trending story of the day.
What's trending today?
Or apparently, and we played some of the video, the event happened. For those that don't know, the shooting of the ICE agent shooting the woman happened really right before the program yesterday. So we were trying to cover that one on the fly. The statement that happened from the mayor of Minneapolis that pretty much told ICE to get out of town. We had the statement from Tim Walz, the governor of the state of Minnesota, that said essentially that that it's a patriotic duty to be protesting against ICE, because this is the narrative they've created, which they love to do: throw the wrench in the system, not be law-abiding, break the law, and then when we try to clean up the law, then you're a bunch of tyrannical fascists for coming after us. And ICE trying to go after criminal, illegal aliens, people that have broken the law, people that have been murderers, rapists, drug dealers, human traffickers, all this other garbage. We're going in to go get you. And then they're like, oh, we're the poor innocent victims. We're going to go ahead and stop you. And that's led to them wanting to be protesting and try to obstruct law enforcement from doing their job. It's not a hard process here. And I think we need to go back and have a conversation about the constitutionality, because, look, here's the thing. They say that they want to hold the government in check, or at least some of them maybe try to kind of sort of say that in some fashion. And you know me as a conservative, and us as a limited government conservative mindset that we mostly listen to on this program. We're with you. We want to keep government in check. We want the government limited. We don't want a weaponized or militarized government against the people. And we're very concerned about government getting out of hand. That is a concern that most Americans have from both sides of the aisle. The problem on that is that you guys don't understand what constitutional values actually mean. And here's what I mean by that. Again, we have Tim Walz that, let me see if I can find that audio, because we had that yesterday that was just absolutely insane.
The desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration of how wrong this is, that is a patriotic duty.
A patriotic duty. Remember, this is the same party, getting the faces of MAGA individuals, getting the faces of Republicans that are supporting Donald Trump and Trump supporters. Donald Trump and his entire group and his entire administration are domestic terrorists in this nation. When Joe Biden walked out, did the speech, it was all dark. He had the red lights behind him, the stormtroopers that were there, and he goes, MAGA's the biggest threat to American democracy, and they're a bunch of domestic terrorists. This is the mindset that they've created. So law enforcement that's actually going in to stop bad guys from doing bad things, and by that definition, meaning that they're violating our constitutional principles, our three pillars of conservatism on this show, which is the right to life, the right to liberty, and the right to private property. If someone's coming here illegally and breaks the law by human trafficking, that's a violation of multiple different rights, including private property and the right to liberty and so on and so forth. If they're drug trafficking and harming individuals, if they're taking advantage of your taxpayer money, doing whatever that they do, gang wars in the middle of the street, making it unsafe for the streets to happen, murdering people, attacking people, looting, whatever it is, ICE is like, we're done. The Trump administration, we're done. We're going to clean you up. And to them, that's an act of victimization. And now, of course, because they're going after people with a different skin color, we have the anti-police and the anti-ICE individuals that are now protesting in the streets en masse, causing havoc and causing riots in the streets of Minneapolis. Because to them, they're freedom fighters. To them, they're fighting utopian, overbearing government. What they don't understand is that all we want to do is stop criminals. Help us help you make the streets better. Help us help you get crime rates down. Help us help you get the fraudulent people out of the system to where your taxpayer money, if you believe in all these great social programs, are going to something that you actually support and that it actually is productive in helping individuals that you say you want to help. That's not a wild concept. But apparently now it is. J.D. Vance rocked it today, by the way, in a press conference with Caroline Leavitt, spoke on this and said that we have, he went on a rant, and I don't really need to say much more because he went on a 2-minute tirade against the media for the way they're covering this and why we're seeing so much anger, hatred, and violence in society, and especially right now with the George Floyd protest 2.0.
I'll take some questions, but I want to make just one final observation here. When I was actually walking out here, somebody sent me a photo of a CNN headline about what happened in Minneapolis. And this is the headline. I'm just going to read it. Outrage after ICE officer kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. Well, that's one way to put it, and that is the way that many people in the corporate media have put this attack over the last 24 hours. And I say attack very, very intentionally because this was an attack on federal law enforcement. This was an attack on law and order. This was an attack on the American people. The way that the media, by and large, has reported this story has been an absolute disgrace, and it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. What that headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile? What that headline leaves out is that that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job. If the media wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible for the President of the United States to do what the American people elected him to do, which is enforce our immigration laws. The President stands with ICE. I stand with ICE. We stand with all of our law enforcement officers. And part of that is recognizing that you people in the media, not everybody in this room, but many people in this room have been lying about this attack. She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself. He's already been seriously wounded in law enforcement operations before, and everybody who's been repeating the lie that this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
I mean, boom. Mic drop. That's a win right there for J.D. Vance. That's, by the way, yeah, that is exactly what we voted for. That type of intensity, that type of passion, that type of frustration. We're done with this kind of crap. We're not going to play these games. Kind of like the transgender issue. We're tired of having a basic conversation about biology and that biology sets things and you have two genders and that's it because biology kind of those are stupid conversations that we waste our time having to have in society because they've tried to really distract us and create dumb conversations. This is the same thing. We want laws to be followed. It is a law enforcement operation. We had someone that actually obstructed law enforcement with their vehicle that had already been trying to obstruct them all throughout, and now we have these uprisings because of these individuals that every time something like this happens, it's always the cops' fault. And it's always ICE's fault. It is always law enforcement's fault. They're the bad guys. They're the gulags coming after to get you. And anytime anything ever happens, even if someone tries to instigate it, it's always their fault. And now we're the victims. That's their mentality. Because I'm with you with limited government. I'm with you keeping government out of our lives. If you would actually stop people breaking the law yourselves, we wouldn't be in this kind of situation. But it's not going to happen anymore. There's going to be we're going to have to come to a head. Is what it comes down to. There's going to be some type of front because now with the uprising of protests in Minneapolis, according to Kristi Noem, Department of Homeland Security, we're sending more ICE agents up, and she set a very stern policy of what's going to happen here. And guess what, protesters? You will lose.
The Trump administration is using every single tool that we have to protect the American people. Sanctuary policies, whether they're here in New York City, whether they're in California, Illinois, or Minneapolis. If you are a criminal, illegal alien, we are coming to get you. We will arrest you. We will bring justice, and we will also bring safety to the American people. We are warning anyone, if you think you can harm an individual, a citizen of the United States, or a law enforcement officer, we will find you and bring you to justice. If you lay a finger on one of our officers, we will catch you, we will prosecute you, and you will feel the full extent of the law.
Boom. I don't know what else you can say except for get ready because it's not going to go anywhere. And the more you try to rise up and try and throw a fit, the more the pressure is going to be on you, and it's not going to turn out well. If you want limited government, it's so weird because you literally fight for, and again, notice conservatives, by the way, how I'm trying to position this conversation. I'm trying to make the light bulb come on for the other side of the aisle. And I know that's very difficult. I know that sometimes it's just not, we're staring at a glossy-eyed, looked-over individual that just has no idea what's going on. So I understand, but I'm trying to make the light bulb come on for the other side here. So bear with me for just a moment. If you're some wicked, wild freedom fighter, you have to fight for the right things. There are duties and roles of government on what the government's supposed to be doing. The federal government, not the states, California, Mr. Gavin Newsom and Mr. Slick Hair saying that we're going to be a sanctuary state, not New York, not Washington, not Minnesota, none of these left-wing blue states. You do not set immigration policy. You just don't. That's a period. End of story. You don't. When you are a sovereign state under the United States, and you signed as a state to join the union through the compact to say the federal government has some duties, they deal with foreign policy that includes immigration. which means you cannot say that you're a sanctuary state to allow individuals to be undocumented and illegal in your state. That is something the federal government does. And if you're not assisting the federal government in doing that job, it is your duty to get the hell out of the way and allow the federal government to do that job. The federal government should not be doing very many tasks at all, including social programs. That's another conversation for another time. But one of the duties specifically mentioned in the Constitution is immigration, which means you do not have the right to obstruct, to try and put the red tape in, to try and block, or to try and hinder an operation of immigration at all in any way, shape, or form, especially protecting those that have committed crimes and has done harm to your community. So if you're going to fight for something, if you're going to fight for justice, if you're going to fight for some sort of value, taking care of your community, making your community a better place, whatever it is, do it in the right way and stop trying to defend people that are actually making things worse, because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. All right. You think it went through to them? Conservatives? You think that plea worked for them? Do you think the light bulb came on? Probably not. They're still out there protesting, throwing fits, throwing rocks, and they're going to get more violent against ICE agents. And they're like, why are you covering your face? There's a reason for that, and it's because of what we're seeing right now in Minneapolis with the George Floyd protests 2.0. Lots more coming up.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
When America builds, the world follows. Our energy powered the 20th century. We've set the standard for generations, and we never waited for permission. But now, we're being held back. Outdated rules, endless delays. Without permitting reform, Washington's red tape is slowing us down while other nations race ahead. It doesn't have to be this way. We can clear the way for energy that's affordable, reliable, and built right here. Because what's built here is felt here. Lower costs, more jobs, stronger communities. That's what permitting reform makes possible. Energy didn't just shape our country, it powered the American dream. And with our innovation, we can lead the 21st century. Congress has a choice. Build America's energy future or risk falling behind. Tell Congress, pass permitting reform now.
Miss any part of the show? Well, don't worry. Now's your chance to go find the podcast and listen to as much of the Voice of Reason as you'd like. As the show continues to grow all across the nation with great radio affiliates, we also continue to grow as one of the top conservative podcasts, ranked 5th on the MillionPodcast.com Best 50 Conservative Leadership Podcasts in the nation, and number 1 on FeedSpot.com's 30 Best Conservative Talk Shows in the country. The show continues to grow each and every day. Just find us on any of your favorite podcasting sites at The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. Hey, did you know that you can have multiple different networks on one single smartphone? Well, with Patriot Mobile, you can. It's time for you to sign up for the Patriot Mobile primary phone plan with plans as low as $15 a month, where you can have 2 numbers and 2 networks on one single phone. And right now, if you sign up using the promo code REASON, you can get an entire month absolutely free. It's the Patriot Mobile One plan. 1 phone, 2 numbers, and 2 networks. And it's all at patriotmobile.com/reason. Again, patriotmobile.com, and use the promo code REASON.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did 2 guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at A, we